But anyway, it's time now for our SmackDown main event. Now that the Bloodline story has cooled off somewhat, they're actually having matches for the main event these days. But it was Rey Mysterio and Zelina Vega in a mixed tag against Rhea Ripley and Dominick. And again, with that crowd and these people, this was going to be good. And you got the tease of Zelina and Rhea for the title match the following day. The crowd loves Zelina. And Rey and Dominick did some nice stuff. And then finally, Rhea stops Zelina. Of course, they still have to go to break in 2 minutes, even on something like this. But when they came back, they got a ton of heat on Zelina. And then she, managed to chin buster and drop down and evade and move out of the way so that Rhea, who takes that incredible shoulder through the buckle to the post like a guy, again, is beautiful. And then finally they set up with that. They set up the hot tag for Zelina to tag Rey, and boy, were the fans with that, including every time somebody went to do 10 punches or every time the referee was count 1, 2, they were counting in Spanish, obviously, but it was funny, especially on the punches. But what you heard also, you're old enough to remember this, Brian, and anybody can see it on the old video on YouTube or whatever. Remember when the babyface would get the tag, or even in a single match, when the babyface would start making a comeback and punch the heel, the people would go, ooh, 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 with every punch. And that it was happening here to some extent. I haven't heard that in so many years. But anyway, they went back and forth. They had a nice finishing sequence, boom, boom, boom. But finally, Dominick goes for the Three Amigos, which was starting to get big heat. But after the second amigo, Rey trapped Dom's legs and pinned him 1, 2, 3, got a big pop. And then, of course, as soon as that, there has to be heat after. The heels get on Rey. Rey fights back. Here comes Damian Priest in. Now they're mugging Rey, and then they play the music. And here comes Bugs Bunny and the LWO. And the babies go in the air. And the wrestlers all hit the ring and wipe the heels out while Bugs and Priest face off with each other. But then Dominick tries to run at Bugs, and Bugs hits him with the kendo stick instead, and Priest bails out. So just a little tease, but that was enough for these people. I don't know whether, they couldn't have done a little bit more for the television audience. I guess they didn't want Bugs to actually crack Priest just yet. Wait till the pay-per-view. But nevertheless, that was a good. Out of this 2-hour program, this was a good 12 minutes of action and entertainment.
Yeah, I liked it. Bad Bunny, super over. He's done really well with everything they've done with him. Treats everything respectful. So I've really liked his involvement with this, all things considered. I'm not really digging the whole LWO thing. I know I'm maybe the only one, but I like this match.
There's so many of them. The babyface group tends to outnumber the heel group.
Here's the thing about the LWO right now. Rey Mysterio, Zelina Vega, even Santos Escobar. That's one thing. The other two guys have not been defined in any way, other than they're Escobar's friends who used to wear suits with him. That's the thing. It just feels like there's 2 extra guys. They're throwing punches with everyone. They're doing stuff with everyone. What are their names? That's the thing. I think for the LWO to mean anything now, they have to do a little bit more to establish who those other guys are, as opposed to just 2 other guys in the pack.
The problem is, when you look at it, the WWE is full of 2 guys that are in the pack. Gunther has 2 guys in his pack. Escobar has 2 guys in his pack.
But Escobar's guys don't get
actually, the Usos were 2 guys in Roman's pack.
And I would argue every one of those examples you gave, you're right, but they all have gotten either mic time or have been better used and defined on that show than Escobar's friends.
Oh, yeah, I agree. I agree with
I'm
that.
trying to think of their names. I can't remember their names. I keep calling them his friends. I don't know their names.
God damn it, for real. I can't either.
It's the one that used to be, what was it? DJ
Joaquin
Zima Ion?
Joaquin Wild.
Looks like Max Caster.
I don't know if that's his name now, though.
I don't know.
But the point is, I agree with you that the other guys have been used better, but still it comes down to, that's why a lot of the tag teams and tag division is not taken seriously, because these guys are generally in the hunt, but when they face a top singles star, they get, wiped out 1 against 2. And it just, there's no parity of talent level. And then the Vikings, they get beaten like 2 minutes every time they go out there. And they're fucking 500 pounds apiece or whatever.
Well, that's what I'm saying about the tag team division, what I was saying earlier. How are you supposed to take it seriously? The Vikings are in it. They never win a match. Like, sometimes they just appear in the middle of a match to run in or something. You're like, oh, man. Like, what? Why now? There's too much of that. You need serious tag teams for a serious tag team division.
Well, that was SmackDown. What an exciting event it was to go home show for Backlash. Do you hear the sarcasm in my voice at this point?
I hear your sarcasm. I'll let Sergeant McCoy know.
All right. Well, note that down on my record so he can put it in the file.